I I can't believe it. After 30 whole sessions, my character's dead just like that? That sucks. Divine intervention strikes down from the heavens above, snatches your soul away, and puts it back into your body. You live. Oh, thank you. Thank you. How's it going, and welcome to No Fun Allowed's How to GM series, and today I want to talk about coming back from the dead. In most role-playing games, there is the chance that your character can die. If you have got HP, presumably that HP reaches some fatal point, right? But here's the thing. Some people like the idea of their character living on through the worst of things. So what do we do if our characters die and we want them to continue living? The first way to deal with dying is to have a death off screen. We've seen this done many times before. The hero falls off the cliff, not to be seen until the epic climax of the adventure. We hear about their tragic death from someone who supposedly witnessed it. And perhaps their body straight up disappears and there is nothing left to be found. There is a lot of examples of the off-screen death that are definitely not permanent. Now, falling off of a cliff is a little bit of a hard sell if you're in the middle of an open field, so you do have to get creative with these things. If you're in a certain type of environment, how do you get away with an off-screen death? Perhaps a pterodactyl swoops up the body and takes it away miles and miles away. Maybe a truck pulls up and a whole bunch of goons grab the body and pull it away, and your players lose sight of where it goes. Maybe the giant monster swallows the body whole and ducks away into the ground below. There is a ton of ways you can easily sell a body straight up disappearing. The real question we should be asking when we have any one of these off-screen deaths is, how do we convey this to the party in a believable way? And how do we return that player to the party later on? My suggestion for the first question is to force that player buy-in. Your players are there to have fun, and if they know that you are telling an awesome tale, then go ahead and tell that tale. For that second part, however, I would strongly recommend that you give your player an awesome story to tell about returning, or maybe allow them to come up with some improv way on how they escaped their terrible predicament. If they were taken by that pterodactyl, perhaps they swatted the thing away, fell into a river, and returned to the party days later. If they were taken by the goons in the truck, perhaps the truck crashes and they had to crawl their way out of a ravine. Allow those creative juices to flow, and you're going to have an awesome way to sell that supposed off-screen death. The second way we can get away with killing our PCs but having them return is by having the PC that died be a clone the whole time. As the PC's body crumbles to the ground, it melts into snow. It was a simulacrum the whole time. As the character's body is crushed to a bloody pulp, there is no blood and there is no pulp. The body disappears into smoke and ash. As the body lays impaled on the ground, a strange Icarus blood oozes out. It was not them, it was some other foreign entity. Having a PC death be a clone the whole time is a gateway for a ton of adventures. Where is the actual PC? Was there even a real PC? What is going on here? There is just an absolute ton you can do with that. Maybe right after the scene of exposing the fake body for what it is, we pan now to where the character actually is, and we get to blindside our player with it. That is a fun time because everyone at the table is going to be questioning what the heck is going on. Or if you want to be a little bit dubious about this, perhaps you let the player in on it before this actually happens. There's a lot of sleight of hand here you can have. And the third way we can handle death is by resurrecting the bodies. Perhaps a magical spell brings them back to life. Divine intervention strikes at the last moment. Maybe they can just be resurrected for a hefty cost. Perhaps if the party has a patron who is powerful enough, then maybe they get a one-time free pass of someone dying and coming back to life, but then that's it. Maybe your players are higher level enough and death is not even an inconvenience. It's just a little bit of gold and bada bing, bada boom, the person comes back to life. Maybe in the beginning of the campaign, you're given a rod of resurrection and this thing only works 7 times forever and you have to use it sparingly. With these types of resurrections, we don't have to worry about wasting time doing a whole bunch of frivolous things. We can get right back into the action. Now, with all these various ways to bring back our PCs, the question is, how often should we do it? Well, that comes down to the sort of narrative that you want to tell. Does the campaign that you're running actually care about the PCs? Or is the story centered around the PCs and thus any one of them dying sort of throws the whole thing off? Do your players truly cherish the characters that they brought to the table? Or did they just bring mindless characters that they know that they're going to send into the meat grinder? Do you want a finite limit on how often they can come back? Or are you okay with saying that they can come back indefinitely? Whichever way you do it, I strongly recommend that you talk to your players first and foremost about this. This is a large deal for any campaign that you run. Knowing ahead of time if your character is going to live or die is truly going to affect what your players bring to the table. Now, no matter what option you choose in regards of bringing people back to life, whether you allow it or don't, and how often it happens, what I'm strongly recommending is you never show favoritism. If there is a finite limit on resurrections, don't always give it to the same player. People are going to notice. Make sure that it's spread evenly and fairly. And this goes in regards of resurrections, in the fake deaths, in the clones, whatever the case may be. Make sure that it is always on the up and up. So go ahead and tell me, do you have a method that you prefer for keeping your PCs alive? Do you do the off-screen deaths, the clones, the resurrections? Do you do a combination of both, or maybe you do something else? Can your players be brought back an infinite number of times, or do they only get so many freebies before they bite the dust? And have you done any of these before, or are you thinking about doing it now that you've watched this? Go ahead and tell me all those things because I want to know, but that's going to do it for me. Thank you for watching, thank you for listening, and thank you to my patrons. You guys are absolutely incredible. Thank you so very much. And I cannot wait to see you all in the next one.